Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and today I've made a beach theme bathroom vignette. This is exactly what I needed to finish off this room, and if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. I found this, they call it a wood panel. It's like a, almost like a wood canvas, to be honest with you. It's got the wood in the back that's raised, and this was under $5 at Walmart. But I had an idea as soon as I saw it for a vignette. So the first thing I'm doing is taking the label off, and I'm going to give this at least 2 coats of white paint. Maybe 3. I want a good solid coverage for this. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got some wooden finials that I'm going to also paint white. And these are going to be used as feet for the little tray. And I'm going to give these a couple coats until you can't see any more of the wood. Okay, I've given this 2 coats of the white acrylic paint. Going both ways. And I've given these little finials a couple of coats. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these on the corners. And these are going to be my little feet to keep this raised, but not too much. I just want enough for it to be up off of the surface. So I'm just going to use a little hot glue. Probably should use wood glue, but since there is so much paint on here, the hot glue is probably the best. And I'm going to try and keep this back from the edge, and that way it will keep it up but kind of disappear. I don't want it to be seen easily when it's turned over. So we'll be back after I get that done. Okay, I have all the little finials glued on there. And you can see that it is, you can see it if you can see the finials if you look at it, but it's not in your face. So anyway, I'm going to take this outside, and I'm going to give this 2 coats of Krylon triple thick clear glaze, and this is going to seal the paint in so that it'll be easier to wash if it gets fingerprints or whatever on it, because if you just do paint, a dirty finger will mark it up, and you start washing it and the paint will come off. So I'm going to use the Krylon triple thick, and once it's dry, then I can get started decorating this. Okay, I took it outside and I gave it 2 nice coats. And you can see that it's, I didn't do it too heavy so it's not overly shiny, but it is sealed. And I need this sealed for what I have in mind for staging it. Okay, there's the tray all done. And this is going in my bathroom. This is why I've made this. I have a candle holder that I really love, and I keep it in the bathroom, and it is perfect for my beach thing. And this was originally a Party Light candle holder that I had gotten at Goodwill, and I think I paid $2.99 for this. And I mean, you can see how big it is. It was definitely worth the money. But I don't like it just sitting on the counter that's in there. So what I wanted to do was put this on sand. So that's why I made the tray. Now, I could pour sand in there and a few shells, and it would be just about perfect. The only trouble is I have a 2.5-year-old grandson. and I don't want them playing with the sand. So I know you've seen me do this before with the rest of my beach theme items, where I mix sand and glue and glitter together and a little bit of water if needed, and it looks like wet sand. So I'm going to make some up for this so that it gives me the look of the sand, but the grandbaby isn't going to be able to play with it. So I've got some sand here. This stuff I believe I got at Michael's, and I'm pretty sure I got this at Joann's, either or. And I've got white sand from the Dollar Tree, and I have a hologram glitter that's gold, and I have a fine silver hologram and a regular silver hologram glitter. And the glue that I'm going to be using is Aleene's Tacky Glue. This stuff is fabulous. So I'm going to get a container to mix all this stuff together, and we'll be back. I thought using white sand would really look nice, but I don't think it's going to show up with the candle holder that I have. So I've got the white sand, and I've got some of this lighter beige sand, and some of the darker stuff. And I'm just mixing this all together, and I'll keep playing with it until I get the shade that I want. And I'm just using a large popsicle stick to mix it together. Because since this my candle holder is light, I don't want the dark sand, although I know it would really stand out. And I kind of like this the way it is right now. Yeah, I think that's going to stand out just nice enough where it's not going to be too jarring, but I like the shade. And this is just a container. It's a deli container that I got, actually from the deli. I asked if they had an extra one, and they gave it to me. So I'm just going to keep mixing until this is a little bit fuller, and then I'm going to start adding the tacky glue. Okay, I added some more sand, and it's at a decent level. I actually made a little extra in case I need it. And now I'm going to add the glitter. And the glitter always gives it a, like this sun's reflecting on the sand. I always like the look that it gives it. And I'm going to add a little bit of the silver. And a little bit of the fine glitter. Okay, I've got the glitter in there, and if I need more, I'll add more. You can see it is reflecting a little bit, and it's not over the top. So the tacky glue, I'm just going to start pouring it in. And I'm starting with just a little bit and a little bit of water. And I'm just going to mix this up, and if I need more tacky glue, I'll add more tacky glue. If I need more water, I'll add more of that. But the consistency that I want is, I don't know, like a really thick gravy maybe? I mean, you can see right now this is entirely too thick. So I'm going to add a little more water to it to thin it down. And I'm just going to keep playing until I get it the way I want it. And if I think it's too thin, then I'll add a little more tacky glue. So we'll be back and I'll show you what the final consistency is. Okay, I finally got it all mixed up. And it does take a little elbow grease, I must admit. But that is about the consistency that you want. It's like a thick gravy or a thick pudding. I don't know, it's really hard to describe. But you can tell if it's going to spread. Maybe a soupy icing? I don't know. But anyway, just make sure you got all the dry up from the bottom. And you can kind of tell when you tilt it. But now I'm just going to pour it in here. And spread it out. The nice thing about the deli container is that if you have leftover, it seals pretty well. So it'll hold up for a few days if you want to use it for other projects, which I'm planning on doing. And that's another reason why I made some extra and put it in another container, because this is also going to be the base for a Christmas tree for this winter, because I'm going to stay with the beach theme. And this will be dried completely overnight. And the way you tell if it's dry is by touch, because, like I said, this looks like wet sand when it dries. And it's really... I came on this idea quite by accident. And the first time I did this was, it had to be at least 15 years ago. And it just turned out so perfectly, and it's held up. I mean, some of the ornaments and things that I've made over the years, it holds to wood beautifully. I've made candlesticks, covered wooden candle holders with it, and I made Christmas ornaments and covered boxes. Okay. And while this is still damp, I'm going to put some small shells in and around. And I'm going to make sure they don't set up too high, because, like I said, this candle holder is going to have to go on top. And for Christmas, there's going to be a Christmas tree in the center of it. So I don't want it to be too lumpy. And by tapping this, if there are any air bubbles, they'll come up. I don't know if you can see the one here. Just going to break that air bubble, and it fills right back in. And as this dries, it just keeps leveling out, so it gets smoother and smoother. But now that it's smooth, I'm going to add a few little odds and ends around the outside. And this sand glue mixture is a glue, so you don't have to worry about adding more glue to it. If it's too dry in some spots, all you have to do is add a little more sand mixture. And I'm just pushing that in. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. And I'm trying to keep it towards the outside. And that way when this is dry and this sits in, you'll be able to see a little bit. Without it laying on top of it. Like I said, I'm going to keep it around the outside. And try to keep this as even as possible. To be honest with you, I have no idea how far the Christmas tree is going to go on this when I get it out, and I don't even know if I'm going to use a skirt, or I just know that I'm going to put a Christmas tree on this tray. And I'm going to use a toothpick to press these into the sand, so I don't get my hands totally soaked. And I've got a couple pearls I want to throw in here. And I'm going to call this done. All I'm going to do now is wait for it to dry, and then we'll put the candle holder on it and light them up. And we'll be back. Okay, it's nice and dry, but you can tell by looking at it that it looks wet. And that's because of the watered down glue. And the glitter in it, of course, helps to make it look like the sunshine is on it. And there it is with my candle holder. I'm going to turn out the light. And I hope you can see this, even though it's pretty bright daylight. But there's a battery operated candle. And that way it can be left unattended in the bathroom. And there you go. And I'll be showing a nighttime picture of it next. Okay, there it is in place. And it's just the right finishing touch that I wanted for this beach theme bathroom. And it is going to be a perfect backdrop for a beach themed Christmas tree in December. And I love the way the sand looks so wet, and it can stay looking like that, and I don't have to worry about the grandbaby getting sand all over the house. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.